Hey Bible lovers, I'm Tim Nichols and I'm here to bring you your Nichols Worth, and today from the Lockman Foundation we have the large print compact Bible in the NASB 2020. Now the box doesn't give you a lot of information, but it is a single column, it is a 9-point font, and it is a smaller footprint, hence being called a compact. So let's compare it to the 4 main compact Bibles that I have that are in single column format. We have the Clarion, we have the CSB Personal Size, we have the ESV Heritage, and then of course this would be your NASB 2020 compact. Now these two are rebinds, so there's no sense in comparing the covers, but on these two I've already done a quick comparison of the covers in another video. I'll show you that, but they are very comparable, very similar. The spine work is very similar. Really hard to tell them apart from a leather goatskin standpoint. That'd be the same with the liner, the same with your end sheets, all of it high quality. Now this one is going to have a little bit more of a premier type of a block. So you're going to see, a little bit of a difference in the paper quality. So anyhow, these are both in paragraph format, and as are these, are in paragraph format other than the poetry. So when you look at them together, these are both 9-point fonts. So the fonts on these are going to be more comparable. Now the layout size in the Clarion and this are pretty much identical, so I'll kind of show that as well. The reason this font looks a touch smaller is because of what they call leading space. The Heritage has a nicer leading space, but it also has a much larger footprint. When you look at, they're not going to have room, so if you want that smaller footprint, one thing you're going to have to sacrifice is that leading space. And then you may look at the Clarion. Okay, let's take a look at that. And you may say, well, look, this one has a little bit of leading space as well. However, when you look at this thing, it's thick. Okay, this one is not as thick. It is going to be quite a bit thinner. It's probably ½ inch thinner. So on a Bible this small, that's pretty significant. So you're looking at no margin space. You're not going to have a lot in the area of references. You're not going to have a lot in the area of white space on the page. So these two have a similar footprint size, but as you can tell, this one's just a touch wider. So it has a little bit of space for that margin. So this one's going to give you your referencing system, to where these three are not going to have a very extensive referencing system. So the Clarion is going to be most comparable in the footprint size, other than it's a little bit wider, and it's going to have a smaller font as well. This is only like an 8-point font, where this one is a 9. Now again, this is a little misleading because it has a little more leading space, but what they did is they tried to cram as much text in as small footprint as possible. And I really actually think they did a beautiful job. Yes, it does look a little bit busy. Yes, it can be a little overwhelming to see all of those letters on a single page, but when you look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 words per line. So that is going to be very nice when it comes to just being able to read it straightforward. Another thing that's really nice about this is when you look at the verse numbers are extremely bold. So while this is a paragraph format, you're going to have a really easy time finding these verses because they have that boldness. Now when you get to the poetic settings, you're going to see a little bit of a difference. You're going to see a lot more space here. And when you compare it to like the poetic settings, say in the Heritage, you're also going to see, look, there's quite a bit of ghosting there. So again, that ghosting is more of a formatting issue than it is a paper quality issue. This is a 31 GSM coated European paper. This is 28 GSM French Indo-Pak paper. So when it comes to a compact Bible, you have to ask yourself, what compromises do I want to make? Do I want it to be thinner? Do I want it to be smaller? If you want it to be thinner and smaller, and you want the advantage of a 9-point font with a large print, then you're going to have to give up some white space. And that's exactly the choice that Lockman made with their Prime series. And I think it was a good compromise. Now for me, I definitely prefer a bit more white space, but I also prefer a larger Bible. So when you have something this small that you can just throw in a backpack, because look at this, okay? This is the Heritage that we're comparing it to. And again, that is quite a bit bigger. Now, unfortunately, because the yap on this, it's going to be hard to compare sizes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, because this is a 10-point font. But see, look, that gutter is eaten up. And that's not from the rebind. That's just because they had to cram as much text on here as possible. But you can see this is significantly smaller, significantly shorter, but yet you don't give up a lot when it comes to font size. It's a little bit smaller, but you don't give up much. And then you have this one, which is a thick daddy. But look at that, the font is quite a bit smaller. It's about 1.5 points smaller. So I really think compacts really present a lot of issues. They present a lot of obstacles. And I think they really did a nice job in giving you a pretty good size font, a really nice layout, really nice paper, a fairly thin Bible, and one that you can hold, fits in the palm of your hand, and yet they give you as much font size as possible by just cramming it on the page. So I think they did a good job. Also, you will know that the blue tint in the gutter is now gone. Now, if this is a layout you don't like, I would highly recommend, if you want a larger font, go ahead and go with the bigger footprint with the LPUT. This is a 10-point font, beautiful layout. Now, it is a double column. And see, that's another compromise. When you do single column, it takes more pages in order to fit all that text on the page. So anyhow, there you have it. Keep calm. Jesus on. This is your newsworth.